what you got. Oh, I can't see tomorrow. Gotta live, try to get a little wiggle room, the rest don't stop. Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Tryna make $1, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a what's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. I won't tell you nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Thursday. It's January the 26th, 2023. Welcome to a brand new day, y'all. It is going to be a fantastic day. Good morning, Carrie. As we get going, I will tell you this will be a super condensed version because y'all have got to get in here early. So if you've got friends and neighbors and relatives and brothers, sisters, cousins that want to be on this call, they better get on here fast because this one's going to be super fast. Probably a 20, 25 minute at tops, like pushing it tops. We've got to go get on an airplane. So we're headed to the airport this morning. But good morning, Carrie. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Kristen Ritchie. Good morning, Anna. Sorry, I'm looking at all the names. Good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? Good gosh, welcome to January the 26th. Michelle, congratulations for passing the third of the way mark. I am, that 25th day was a super big milestone for me. I know it was for you as well. 50 more to go. Here we go, y'all. 75 hard, still going strong. We are headed to, well, let me start here. My name's Aaron Dwyer, and I am one of the broker owners. My wife and I, Christy, own Exit Realty Lake Country. So I'm one of the two. I joke all the time that I'm the prettier one, but everybody knows that's not true. But we own Exit Realty Lake Country. We are in Georgia and in Tennessee. So if you're watching this, we do this every single morning, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. It comes up on a couple of platforms, various places on Facebook. It's also on YouTube. So if you're watching this later, we hope you enjoy it. But we do this every morning with our agents. So without further ado, here we go. How was everybody's day yesterday? Was there any success stories from yesterday? Today is Thursday, so maybe today is success story day. Did anybody have some success stories from yesterday? Something that you went out and did that maybe you hadn't done before? Anything? Anybody from you folks that are on here? I will tell you, just full disclosure, I didn't call a single person yesterday. The only time I really had to sit down and try to call somebody was when I was sitting in the line to pick Jagger up from school. And I pulled out my expireds and Vanessa, I saw your TikTok in the rain. Look, that's Vanessa Self's second TikTok. That's awesome. That was a very good one, by the way. You're getting your TikTok game is going to be pretty fantastic here before long. Carrie, I think that goes without saying. Carrie said she went to the, if y'all didn't see her comment, she went to the social media school, a social media class yesterday and knew more than an instructor. And I think that was kind of a given, Carrie. I think we all knew that. So somebody said, Kristen said, good. Shared a listing and had a lead through Boomtown. And there you go. So Kristen Ritchie's out doing it, man. And she's generating some business. Y'all, I'm not sure if you've seen Kristen Seabolt. I know she doesn't like getting up early or being on the calls with us, but she's rocking and rolling too. Lynn, good morning. Kristen's probably as busy as she's ever been. Hey, Lynn. Good morning, Shay. How are you? I'm going to tell you what, y'all, Shay McCoy, y'all better watch out for her. As soon as she gets able to get her stuff squared away where she could actually, because she put some, amazing social content out. So some of Shay's stuff looks so great. Shay, you're doing a great job with that. Oh yeah, y'all got the Google training today. That'll be a hoot. Gosh, I'm not sure that, where is that? Is that where is that training? Where's the Google training, y'all? I'm not sure they're ready. Sawani. I can assure you Sawani ain't ready for 10 or 15 Exit Realty Lake Country ladies in the same room. Sewanee ain't ready. I promise y'all. Y'all better call somebody in Sewanee, let them know y'all are coming. Michelle said she kept her head down and did a bunch of cards and wrote a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna before Lynn, because I don't know, Lynn, do you have a word this morning? I know Lynn is Lynn sits pretty close to the right hand of the Father lots of days. And Lynn, if you got a word, I'd love for you to share a word with us this morning. Empowered, feeling empowered. I like it. Y'all, I'm gonna be straight and honest with y'all. I mean, the title of this today, we talked yesterday about 4 things and 4 levels of action. We talked about doing nothing. We talked about retreating. We talked about doing average. And then we talked about doing more than is required, like knowing what level of action is needed and then kicking it up a notch. That's been resonating with me for quite a while. And and I think maybe what stirred it in me is this 75 Hard program and doing these individual things that you have to check off the box, right? You got to do the thing and check the box. Okay, we can talk about that too. That's a good spot. So through this 75 Hard challenge, and those of you, Kristen and Michelle and Vanessa, that are doing it, you if you're like me, I can't look at the whole day, right? I have to look at each individual checklist, each individual check on the app. So I got to look at, okay, I'm gonna be on a diet. No alcohol. I can check it off in the morning. That's easy. Y'all, I didn't know how easy it was to not drink alcohol, but it's been super easy. And I've got stuff all around. I got like 11 Coors Lights in my fridge, haven't touched. I got bourbon and whiskey sitting over here on the shelf, haven't touched. I've got it over in Yacht Club all over the place. Haven't touched it. I'm going on a hockey weekend. So we're leaving today to go to Omaha, Nebraska. Jaggers playing hockey this weekend. And so if you want to get on my Facebook here tomorrow morning, you'll see a couple of hockey games. Apparently I'm the Facebook. You know what happens when you do such a good job at something, unintentionally do a good job at something, and then everybody clamors for you to keep doing it, and you really don't want to do it. Good morning, Teal. Good morning, Mags. I will look at Halsey May's picture on CC's profile. So all of you guys that are in doing the sober life, 47 years dry, and Lynn said 8 years sober. My hat's off to you. I never looked at alcohol as something of a crutch. I got my wild days I did way long ago. So for me, it's pretty easy. So I checked that box off early. I checked the next box off early. And here was the point of what I was saying. When I do those small individual things, right? When I do those 5 or 6 things a day, every single day, then I stack those 5 or 6 things a day, the next day, and then the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I'm not concentrating on the day necessarily. I'm concentrating on the individual task, the individual thing at hand. I'm concentrating on the small thing that I can control, the small thing that I can do, and then I stack those things on one another to then have a complete day. And so what Carrie said is, let's talk about job, career, calling from the happiness advantage. And I think this is a big piece of this, right? And I'm going to roll into that. But what I've been feeling over the last 25 days is there are lots of things. Aaron Dwyer, and I was speaking from Aaron Dwyer's perspective and only from Aaron Dwyer's perspective and what he does or doesn't do. There are lots of things lots of boxes that I miss in the day. There are lots of things I don't check in the day, and things that are pretty important. One, to our business, the Exit Realty Lake Country machine that we have going, that are important to my marriage, that are important to my personal development, that are important to my personal business. All the things that you guys deal with on a daily basis, I deal with the same things. And just from a sitting in a seat of accountability right here, there have been a lot of boxes that I haven't checked. So since this 75 Hard thing has started, and every single morning workout, y'all, I'm not listening to music. I'm not listening to rah-rah. I'm listening to Jim Rohn. I'm listening to, there's another guy named Eddie Pierno on YouTube. Gosh, he's good. I think that's his name. I mean, he is good. So I've spent 45 minutes for the last 25 days in a row, every single morning, adding to another 45 minutes of motivation, of instruction, of insight, of a revelation. I'm listening to these things every single day, and it's beginning to invigorate me to do the things that I've got to do. All those boxes that I haven't checked, it's motivating me to check those boxes now. So the 75 hard thing for me has not just been about, hey, let's do 75 days in a row, or let's not get, y'all, my pants are falling off of me. It's the craziest thing ever. I promise you, if I don't buy new jeans, the next time you see me, it's gonna look like I'm somebody's moved out of my pants. It is nuts how much weight I've knocked off this thing. And that's not the intention, but it's an ancillary byproduct of doing what I have to do. It's kind of like I have this stack of expires that I've got to call, right? And I didn't call them yesterday. I didn't call them. Honestly, that was one of those days where it was kind of the old, do I really want to do it? Do I really want to make those phone calls? All the stuff that you start to say to yourself, do I really want to pay? Do I really want to stop and sit and put myself in that position to possibly be told no? Do I want to go through all that headache and hassle of having conversations with people and maybe not really knowing what to say or not having the right answer that they need? And so then subconsciously, as I begin to go through that process with myself, guess what happens to my day? It doesn't line up with my intention. Actually, it does line up with my intention, because my intention in that subconscious talk to myself is, I really don't want to do it. And so then everything else in the day takes priority. Everything else in the day becomes more important. And then before you know it, you've run out of your days, your hours in the day to actually reach out and call people, because most expired folks don't want to be called at 10 o'clock at night. And that happens to all of us. That happens to all of us when we focus on the wrong thing. When we focus on the wrong thing, we get the wrong results. When subconsciously we're trying to talk ourselves out of doing something, we tend to allow, and what happens is we tend to experience that subconscious thought in reality, because we all know in our brains. Look, I know in my brain, if I call it, I said it yesterday on the call, if I call 20, I'm going to get at least one or two. I know that it's going to happen. I know that if I call expired listings, I'm going to get a listing. And every one of these are over $1.5 million. Every one of these represent a pretty significant amount of income. I know that I can do it. I've done it in the past. I've done it over and over and over again. It's not anything that I can't do. It's not like I don't have the ability to. I just really didn't want to. You ever been there? You guys ever been in that place where you know there's something you need to do, but you just really don't feel like doing it? And it's something way deep down inside that starts to twinge and starts to talk you out of it. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call, or all of a sudden you get busy doing this, or all of a sudden the dog poops in the drive or the living room. And all of a sudden, the cat is torn up something, or all of a sudden the kids are screaming. All of a sudden, other things become a higher priority. That ever happened? You recognize that? Anyone? Is that just me? Does that resonate with anybody, or is that just me that does that? That you know what you need to do up here, but way deep down in here, you got that gut feeling that you really don't feel like doing it. And so when you really don't feel like doing it, everything, oh, looky there. They have a sale there's a sale at Belk. Let's see what the sale rack at Belk looks like. Oh my gosh, look at that Facebook post. Can you believe that she did that to her lips? Oh my gosh, look at those comments. Oh my gosh, that's what we do. And the distraction is right there for us all the time. The distraction is literally begging for you to come take part in it. Your distractions are literally right. The very thing that you knew or that you have in your hand to go make millions of dollars is the very thing that's keeping you from making millions of dollars. You have this technology, you have connections, you have the ability to find. I'm taking these with me to Omaha. I put them on the plane, and when we get in Omaha today, I'm going to sit down in the hotel lobby, and I'm calling every one of these. And when I come back to Tennessee, I'm going to have listing appointments. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, because yesterday I was so mad at myself. I was so mad at myself for allowing that to happen. I literally picked these pages up and I pulled them out in the car in the line at school, and I was going to start calling, and I just didn't, because I wasn't motivated to do it, because deep down inside I talked myself out of it. So to go back to what Carrie wanted to talk about, Lynn said creative avoidance. We avoid it. But what's crazy is you have just as much, there is just as much chance for you to be successful as there is to you to mess up. There's just as much chance for you to get a listing as there is for you to not get a listing. There's just as much chance. Kristen, I'm telling you, the 5 a.m. club is, I think it's Kristen that said that because I know she is fired about the 5 a.m. club right now. But let's go back to it. My comments are catching up. Hang on. Got my coffee in the way. All right. So let's talk about this, okay? And this is what, so I'm going to talk, Carrie said job, career, calling. So let's talk about job, career, calling. It's from the Happiness Advantage. I'm trying to recollect all the things that Sean Achor talked about, but I want you to think about what you do as a job, what you do as a career, or what you do as a calling. Because when it is do you remember, raise your hand if you've seen the movie Four Christmases. Raise your hand if you've seen the movie Four Christmases. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. It is a Dwyer Chipwood classic. We love that movie. We watch it constantly. It's Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Their parents are divorced. They avoid Christmas every single year by going on trips out of the country. That's how they get away from being around the parents during Christmas. And so they go on these trips and they make up these stories and they get caught, right? So now they have to go to the they have to go to the four houses for Christmas. There's a point to this because I was talking about job, career, calling. There's a scene in the movie when Vince Vaughn's character is at his dad's house. I will tell you that character, that Orlando's dad's house, is almost a spitting image of my dad's house. Almost, I literally can walk in my dad's house at any moment of the day. He's sitting in his chair, his leg hiked over the leg, right? He's sitting in his chair, his legs hiked over the arm of his chair. He doesn't drink as much as he used to anymore, but literally he'd be sitting there with a beer in his hand, right? But he talked about his mom, and he talked about his mom being a, you know what, and said, and the dad said, I gave her everything. She had a career, and Vince Vaughn, his retort was that she had a job. It wasn't a career. She was a checkout, something at a grocery store. That wasn't a career, Dad. That's a job, right? So a job, career, or a calling. So what I'm talking about to you today is your motivation to go be great. We're trying to tie in doing those extra things that you've got to do, stepping up your game, right? Stepping up your game, doing the things you got to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. And so Carrie, I'm gonna stop because if I start getting off on that, I've only got like 5 minutes, and we got to get out of the house, or I'm gonna be not getting bags on a plane. I can't do that. I don't want to be late. And Jagger will come downstairs freaking out on me in about 2 minutes. So let me go here. So I'm gonna table job, career, calling. I'm gonna talk about this on Monday. Let's talk about job, career, calling on Monday. So let's talk about this today. It is Thursday. It is January the 26th, 2023. 2 days ago, you got a sheet with a bunch of activities, with a bunch of things you can check off that if you do on a daily basis, your real estate business will soar. You will be absolutely amazed at how magnificently wonderful and successful your real estate business is. But it's going to take not only you checking those boxes, not only you doing the activities of 75 Hard, not only clicking those hash marks of how many phone calls you've made, how many appointments that you get. Because at the end of the day, if you're not talking to people about real estate on appointments, you're not going to make money. And at the end of the day, if there's some subconscious thing inside you, like I had yesterday, where I'm going to talk myself out of calling expired listings, you will sit there and you will look at those things day after day after day after day. And that tally sheet will be no more valuable to you than a piece of mail that you get in the mailbox that you're just going to toss. You've got to put action behind your words. You got to put action behind your activities. Go ahead and put that stuff right. Sorry, y'all. Put that stuff right there in your hockey bag. You got to put action behind your activities. Here's what I'm going to leave you with. And this is the conversation that Jagger and I get to have on the airplane. And he didn't know this yet, but we are. A champion doesn't focus on other people. A champion doesn't focus on the threat another team poses. A champion doesn't focus on the ability of the other team. A champion doesn't care what the other team is doing or not doing. A champion will be prepared, and a champion may watch film, and a champion may know some tendencies, but the champions care more about their activity. The champions care more about their ability. The champions care more about what they're going to do. The champions care more about their excellence than than the threat of the other team. When Kobe Bryant woke up at 4:00 in the morning and went to the gym and was shooting, he wasn't concerned with what the 76ers were doing. When he's at the gym, you go, wake Kate up. When Michael Jordan was at the gym shooting and working, he didn't care what the Detroit Pistons were doing. When Tiger Woods is hitting golf balls, he doesn't give two craps about what somebody else is doing. All he cares about is his focused effort on his task at hand and getting better at everything he does and honing his craft. So today, on January the 26th, as you look at that tally sheet, as you look at your real estate business, as you look at your career and the direction of your dream, as you look at the success that you're trying to create down the road, I want you to focus on the one singular task you can do today to get better today. If it's calling expired listings, knock that out. If it's calling for sale by owners, knock it out. Get good at it. Get good at prospecting. Get good at your follow-up. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, as a leader of a company of salespeople, as a pseudo sales trainer, as a pseudo motivational speaker, I will tell you the single most important thing in your life, the single most important thing in my life to be successful in this business. When I say successful, I mean reflected in the dollars that you generate, that you can put in your bank account to go on vacation, buy cars, pay for college, do cool stuff. The single most important factor in that is your follow-up. Your follow-up. Not calling 2 or 3 times and quitting. Not sending 1 or 2 emails and quitting. Not sending in cards and not following up on the cards. It is doing it 13, 14, 15 times until somebody tells you, if you call me again, I'm calling the police. I'm telling you, the fortune is in the follow-up. So if that's the one singular thing you focus on today, is getting better at your follow-up. Champions follow up. Sales champions follow up with their clients. It ain't a one and done. It's not a 2 and done. It's not a 4 and done. It is over 8 to 15 touches. If you'll just be a champion in that piece of your business and get super, super good at following up, I'm telling you, the things that you will create out here will be unbelievable. You'll wake up one day and your pants will be falling off. You're going to wake up one day and you're going to look at your bank account and you're going to go, holy smoke, how did that much money get in there? You're going to wake up one day and the IRS is going to say, by the way, you owe us $37,000 in taxes. And you're like, holy smoke, how do I owe you this much money in taxes? And you look at, oh, I made that much money. Ooh, gosh, I get it now. So today, be a champion. Go shoot your shots. Go do the things that need to be done. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop worrying about what they're going to say. Focus on what you're going to say. Focus on the value you're going to provide. Don't focus on the response they're going to give you. Their response is their response. You can't control that. What you can control is how prepared you are going into the conversation. What you can control is how much value you can provide at the beginning. What you can control is the follow-up you offer and paying attention to your business. That's what you can control, and that's what champions do. They don't care about what's happening on the outside. They care about what's happening on the inside. And I know every one of you are champions. I also know that I got to get the heck out of here. I love y'all. I will see you in the morning from Omaha, Nebraska. Michelle Tilson, I'm going to tell you right now, all you 75 cards, Vanessa and Kristen that are on this call, the high on Sunday is 8. 8 degrees. And I've got to go be outside. The low is going to be like 1. And I've got to work out outside. So, y'all, I'm fixing to embrace the dog-ish out of some suck. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know if I'm prepared for running outside when it's 8 degrees, but I've packed as much stuff as I can pack. And I may have to buy like a ski mask or something. I don't know. But it's going to suck on Sunday. But looking forward to it. Thank y'all. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Teal. And we'll see y'all in the morning. And hopefully I'm going to give you some good news about some expires when I call them when I get to Omaha. So love y'all. Be good. Be great. Be you. Go kill it today. Go be a champion. Bye, y'all.